Alex Jones just lost InfoWars. It was sold in an auction to The Onion. I love this. There's some stuff happening right now with the judge and the auction and stuff. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen. I heard talk of maybe Elon Musk trying to step in and challenge the legal ruling and all kinds of stuff. We'll see if The Onion gets it or not, but here's the bottom line. Alex Jones is suffering terribly as a result of his poor choices, as a result of what he did. Doxing families, lying about children, the whole nine. Let me just kind of go through exactly what happened and why it was sold and everything, okay? Alex Jones lied about some Sandy Hook families. This is like that big shooting in Sandy Hook schools, and a bunch of kids died. And he lied about the parents, said they're crisis actors, doxed them, and all kinds of real bad stuff. Lied in court under oath and refused. I mean, it was bad. There was a whole trial. We'll talk about it in a minute, but they decided that he owes $1.5 billion to the families. $1.5 billion. So the government basically confiscated InfoWars properties and auctioned it off. Now, you may not realize how big InfoWars is, but it's gigantic. It's like YouTube in that it has its own advertising system, its own products, and it has multiple hosts and everything, the whole nine yards on there. He started basically like a diet pill company to advertise on InfoWars to generate money for him. And it generates so much, it's ridiculous. To my knowledge, InfoWars owns the diet pill company, the producers, the guys that actually make the pills, and they own the server farms that it's all hosted on. They own like a website called band.video that's basically like YouTube, like it hosts the videos and everything else. It's huge, huge. A lot of it was transferred to his parents' name, to my knowledge, but the judge saw right through it and swept it aside and took ownership of it and gave it to the parents. Alex Jones is obviously going to go to Rumble and continue to upload. But first of all, he had a bunch of different hosts on the system from whom he was gaining money. They would run his diet pill ads during Owen Schroyer's show on InfoWars or whoever's, and Alex Jones got a cut of that money. Now he's going to have to probably go to Rumble at best, and he might get a fraction of what he got from the diet pills from each ad. Because I don't know about Rumble, but with YouTube, YouTube keeps, I think, 45% of ad revenue earned. InfoWars kept basically all of that. Every show that Alex Jones did, he kept all of that ad revenue effectively. So he lost a lot. He's going to go on Rumble and create a new channel, and he'll make a little, probably enough to live. But those families can now follow him around for the rest of his life and collect money from him. So if he gets enough to buy a house, they can confiscate it. He is so f***ed, I don't even know what word to use to describe it. He had multiple trials, multiple civil trials, lawsuits against him in multiple places. One was in Connecticut, one was in Houston, I think. And he just didn't show up to the Texas lawsuit. He just didn't go. And if you don't go, it means there's a default judgment filed against you, which means he just loses by default. Like, that's it. There are no jury necessary, no nothing. You lost because you didn't show up. Now, I've been in a position where stress is eating me alive, and I can't get out of bed. I can't do it. So I get probably why he didn't show up to the courtroom for the case or whatever. He just couldn't. He couldn't force himself to. And that's the thing that lost him InfoWars, effectively not showing up. It's the Houston one. And the judgment, the default judgment was for the maximum amount, $1.5 billion. He's not worth that much. This is the next day. I felt I needed to come back to this and talk about what's going on with Alex Jones. Apparently, the dude stayed in his studio even after they turned the lights off. I'm sorry. This is not funny. Look, the thing is, I know he's suffering, but he caused immeasurable suffering to people, and his method of making people suffer has now been turned off. So I feel I can enjoy this in good conscience. Just check this clip out here. This is, I think, before they turned this stuff off.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is 7:50 right now. I'm about to upload this to X. I just got word 15 minutes ago that my lawyers and folks met with the U.S. trustee over our bankruptcy this morning, and they said they're shutting us down even without a court order this morning. The Connecticut Democrats with the Onion newspaper.
That's right. The Onion made Alex Jones cry. I love this.
Bought us. They asked, did they outbid? They said, well, it was competitive. So they changed all the bidding rules, made it secret 2 days ago. I had a bad feeling. I told you that.
Right. So Alex Jones was hoping that one of his friends was going to buy it for him. Like Roger Stone was in the bidding, for example. And yeah, it didn't work out. The Onion won, I suppose.
And just like they tried to shut us down back in late May without a court order, they're supposed to have a court order. There's going to be injunctions filed. I'm about to go live out of Harrison's American Journal studio. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to be here until they come in here and turn the lights off. I'm going to say, where's your court order?
We'll get to that clip in a second.
So this is all going down right now. They want to silence the American people.
All right, look, the court order thing, that happened like months ago, all right? They took Alex Jones' property and put it in the ownership of the state, and then the state auctioned it off. The state was kind enough to not turn the lights off this entire time, as long as he was paying the bill, I assume. But now it's been sold to somebody else. Now the police can come in and order him to leave. Like, you're trespassing on our property now. They don't need a court order, the cops don't, to tell you to get off of someone else's property. That's what's happening.
But we're not going to be silenced. Be sure and follow me at the Alex Jones Network at AJN Live.
We'll be watching that for sure.
On X right now. They're filed in court to take real Alex Jones away. That's totally unconstitutional. The judge already said no, so they filed in other courts.
It's not constitutional.
So the live feed going up by the time you see this at AJN Live and at Real Alex Jones right now. Share this everywhere. This is a total attack on free speech. The deep state is completely out of control. The private security hasn't even been told all this yet. They tried to tell them last time, the other U.S. trustee, to shut us down with a court order. These folks said no.
Court order, court order, court order. This happened a long time ago, Alex. You lost. My God.
So this is all happening right now. This is the tyranny of the New World Order, desperate to silence the American people. The mandate of Trump against all the lawfare, they don't care. So the system still thinks it's in charge. I'm going live right now from what probably will be the last transmission from this building. God bless you all for your support. Please support our sponsors so we get funds to stay on the air at the Alex Jones Network. The Alex Jones.
Oh, check it out. There's some dude in the background. I wonder who that is. Anyway, yeah, so Alex Jones lost. He lost all this stuff. Check this one out. This is just like earlier in the day. I believe this is November 14th, 2024, the day that it was cut off, I think.
So we are here on air right now, and I want to see the documents. I want to see the court order.
They don't need a court order to evict you.
The Onion buys Alex Jones InfoWars at auction with help from Sandy Hook family. So they're buying a company to get the equipment, the name, and money that's in InfoWars to then give it to themselves. But it's not about the money.
I have no idea what he's talking about right now. God, he has to be a victim in every situation, doesn't he?
So, again, it's insane. When I go to these court hearings, these people are there, particularly Connecticut. They just smile at me and like wait by the door and like it's like and it's like they live on me and talk.
You know, I think he's being facetious here, but maybe not. He thinks that these people are inhabited by demons for real.
About me, and I'm their persecutor because I'm famous and successful and barely ever talked about them.
Barely ever talked about. You know, this shows me that he has no idea what he did wrong. He has no clue. He still has not learned his lesson. But you know what? I don't care. Everybody around him has just learned the lesson, watching it happen to him. So fine. Now he did like an 11-minute long like stream where he just lied nonstop. Let's just listen to like a little bit of it here.
So here we are in the InfoWars studios on November 14th.
Yeah, the power's been cut off now. The power is out. Everything's out. He's using I assume some kind of like iPhone tethering. I don't know how maybe he just recorded this off of a battery and then uploaded later. I don't know.
2024, it is 6/19. And I've just been down the road at the Alex Jones Network studios that were built as backups.
So he has backups. So what's he complaining about exactly? The judge ordered that he would be allowed to continue to operate a studio, basically, so that he could continue to generate revenue for the families. Which I get that, I suppose. So they're just taking his property. They're not like crippling him. They're not completely destroying his livelihood. He can still make money. He can still live and everything, still stream and all that. And there are no limitations on what he's allowed to say. None. So what's fundamentally changed? He's just being forced to pay somebody. That's all. He's such a joke.
This is the facility we've been in for 16 years. Now, I have major breaking news for everyone. The headlines you see everywhere that The Onion bought InfoWars today.
Can he, not come to terms with anything? You've lost, Alex. They literally walked into the building and turned off the power, okay? He's standing here with no electricity. My God, bro. Even if he walks away with one of his friends purchasing InfoWars for him, he's still going to have this following him for the rest of his life until he pays $1.5 billion. And I can't imagine Elon Musk is going to do that for him. And he still had to wake up every morning and think to himself, what am I going to have to deal with today as a result of my actions? So I'll take the W.
Morning. It went on for several hours. He was extremely upset, the federal judge, Chris Lopez, and said, this is not a real auction. You don't claim there's a public auction where people can bid up and have them register for it, and then 2 days before change it.
Okay, that's not what happened, obviously. I think they switched it to a private bid, or it was a private bid. I'm not exactly sure, but it basically, nobody knows exactly who is bidding.
And say the bids are secret, and we don't have to take the highest one. Then he asked the U.S. trustee that ran this, what was the winning bid? He said, well, I can't tell you.
Is that a W for you or something? I don't understand. Why are you acting like you just got one over on people?
Did you hear what I just said? Not only did they not take the highest bid, they won't even say what was paid, but they said, well, it's Alex Jones's judgment. That's like toilet paper. $1.5 billion fake dollars that doesn't exist? You're going to get $1 billion out of this piece of paper?
What is he trying to say? I don't understand. This is so confusing. It's just confusing nonsense. Look, here's the bottom line with it, okay? Since Alex Jones cannot grapple with what just happened to him, let me lay it out. His property was confiscated on behalf of the Sandy Hook families, and any revenue earned from this auction will go to them. I don't know why that's so difficult to understand. None of this stuff would be happening if it weren't completely legal. He just lives in a fantasy land where he is the victim in every situation. He just cannot handle it.
A debt towards something, and especially because doubly, they didn't tell the other bidders that they were going to allow credit to be used to buy it. That's what they're calling it.
Dude, are you kidding me? Of course they'd be using credit. This is a credit-based economy. Everybody uses credit. This is how the system works. You're just now complaining about this?
Credit in the future, pie in the sky on my future earnings. So they bought my company in a rigged fake auction that didn't even happen.
Rigged.
With my money that doesn't exist. So the judge says he hasn't set the date yet.
Well, I mean, future earnings are calculable and can be assumed, and people can loan money off of this. It's not... God, he's such a victim 24/7. He thinks he is the victim of everything. He literally drove a man to suicide, and he is the victim of this situation. Again, he's lucky he's not facing criminal charges for what he did.
Next Monday or Tuesday, so early next week, I take that as Monday or Tuesday, to have an evidentiary hearing on this. My lawyers and the real bidders' lawyers, who are very prestigious.
Right, the real bidders being his friends, of course, you see.
Said they've never heard of something like this. Walter Sisak.
Right, you've never heard of a credit-based system, a credit-based economy? This is really the first time you've heard of that before?
The lawyer for the folks that tried to buy InfoWars that were good guys is recognized as the toughest bankruptcy lawyer in Texas. He's known as the Bulldog. He's a no bullshitter. He said he's never seen anything like this. Well, I told them get ready for that. And they didn't really believe me. And they saw it. So Monday afternoon, 2 days before the auction, they said, forget all your bids that had to be in by November 8th. Forget all that. Forget the contracts you signed, the deposit you put down, the rules you signed. That's out the window. There's a secret bid. You just give us an envelope with your bid, and we'll tell you who the winner is.
Okay, that's not what happened. But okay, whatever.
And by the way, we'll take one that's lower if we want. And the
none of this happened. What are you talking about?
U.S. trustee said he had the authority to do that, just like the last federal trustee that the Fed send into these cases if they want.
Oh, it's the Fed now. See, it's the Fed. Yeah, the federal government has interfered in a Texas state case to push it the way that they want it to go. Get a grip on reality, Alex. I know that it's been like, how many years? 30 years since you haven't had a grip on reality. But please, I'm begging you, for your own sake, accept the situation as it is already. Jesus Christ, bro.
To shut this place down in, remember, late May? And then 2 weeks later, the judge had a hearing and fired them, saying you don't have the authority to do that. The judge said to Chris Murray today.
The thing is, he's talking about, I'm sorry, let me just step back here. He's talking about how he had a win back in May. They intended to turn off the power back in May. And he pulled every string that he had to pull at the time to try to prevent this from happening. He's at the end of his rope. You know, the legal system rightly has limits on how far it can go. Like, you can't just arrest somebody randomly, throw them in jail, and leave them there for like 2 years with no trial or whatever. There are limits on what the state can do. There are checks and balances all along the way to protect people's rights. Better 10 guilty men go free than one innocent man go to prison, or whatever it is. You know, that whole saying. I respect that. I respect that that's how the legal system operates. But at this point, you have burned up every option that you had. You are out of choices now. Okay, you've been pushing this off since May. April or May. I remember I covered it at the time. April or May 2024. We're in November 24 when they finally turn the power off. He's the luckiest motherfucker alive to be able to push it off this far. Why? Why is he even bothering? He knows he's going to lose this. He's just burning money. He's just lighting it up. He's giving it to lawyers, and he will never see that money again. What's the point? Is it just so that the Sandy Hook families don't have the money? I can see that.
So you have the authority to do that? The judge said to Chris Murray today, where did you think you had authority to do this? You weren't given the authority to do this.
Oh, my God, dude.
So they've closed the building, cut off the satellite uplinks to the radio and TV stations to something they didn't buy. Through bravado, they ordered the IT people to shut down Infowars.com. We've been hijacked.
This is such a joke, dude. Is he ever going to come to grips with reality? Is he ever going to accept reality? Something tells me no.
So I told you they tried this in late May. People didn't believe it was so crazy. When they came and said, leave the building with security, I told the security, where's the order? Where's the court order? I guess we're not going to do it. And then 2 weeks later in court, the judge, it all came out. People were like, well, that was true, Alex said. Well, you're damn right it was.
Oh, my God. He's claiming a W because he got him to delay it 6 more months.
Now you see him bragging. They shut us down everywhere. But here I am in this building with the equipment.
Yeah, but it's still shut down. Are you serious?
And the rest of it. So what we're supposed to sit here with the crew and everybody, and I guess wait for the judge's hearing.
Dude, why is he blinking so weird? What is this? Is this like the results of like alcohol withdrawal? Is that what's happening? He's blinking really hard. He's like squeezing those peepers to death. You seeing this?
That's fine. And they said in the hearing, we don't want them back in the building, Your Honor. They'll try to get the equipment. What, from our studio that we've got good buyers that are...
Yes, well, it's not your studio anymore, see? It's somebody else's. Whether it's the Onions or what, it's not yours. It's the state's at this immediate moment, at the very least. But the Onion most definitely purchased it in this secret auction. He can't accept it. He can't accept reality.
Win the real bid, that we're ready to go up. If somebody would have beat what they were doing, in a real auction, going once, going twice, numbers go up.
I mean, that's not the only way that auctions work. There are other types of auctions too, like secret auctions, for example.
And the judge kept saying, an auction is where people can bid. So
people bid at this auction.
I mean, look on the screen right there. The Onion buys Alex Jones's Infowars.
Dude, I'm so curious about where they're getting the electricity to run this stuff. Did they run an extension cord from the building next door? Is that what happened?
Help from Sandy Hook families. No. The Onion's just the fake owner. They didn't do anything. The families pledged their award that's on appeal.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is what it looks like when somebody cannot accept reality. Right here. This screenshot.
can't sell on a
That should be memed. This should be memed right here. Somebody needs to meme the hell out of this.
board that's on appeal. That's like if I said I was going to buy a house with Confederate notes from the Civil War. They're worthless.
I don't know why you keep saying that.
Or Zimbabwean notes. Or Weimar Republic notes.
Weimar Republic notes? They were called German marks. It was the exact same currency that was used like before the Weimar Republic.
And they would not tell the judge, even though the U.S. trustee has told the news and told me this morning that it was future money of mine that doesn't exist.
Oh my God, dude. Yes, you can get loans on future earnings.
Pie in the sky.
Again, if we're even assuming this is real, I don't know why I would give him the good grace to assume he's telling the truth here. But even if he is, yes, you can get loans on future earnings. Like that's how loans work. That's a credit-based system.
That was going to buy this company? I mean, for the families. I didn't do anything to those people. Barely ever even talked about them. Didn't create the story. It didn't happen. Covered people not believing it a few times. Then they had PR firms claim I was attacking.
Oh my God, dude, he's doing it. He's doing the exact thing that got him into this mess in the first place. Are you serious right now? One more time.
I mean, for the families. I didn't do anything to those people. Barely ever even talked about them. Didn't create the story. It didn't happen. Covered people not believing it a few times. Then they had PR firms claim I was attacking him years later. Years, this is 12 years ago. And raised money off me in PR for anti-free speech, anti-gun initiatives.
That is literally why he claimed that he was attacking them. Right there, that exact thing. He said he believed that they were faking the Sandy Hook attack because they were trying to push through gun legislation. That's why they were doing it. He is literally doing the thing right now on air that he was sued for doing. You are guilty of this. You did do these things, and you do owe these people money, not just in Texas, but in Connecticut too. This is your fault. You're doing every bit of it.
And then had me defaulted by judges and found guilty and had show trials produced by HBO. The greatest show trials ever in history, mainline lawyers say. Literally fake.
Fake show trial? What is he talking about?
The Truman Show.
Like, oh my God, dude. This is what got you in trouble, claiming things are fake like the Truman Show. Did you not learn a damn thing here?
So, these people have jumped the shark, and it's why there was a referendum against the left and lawfare, why Trump got elected in a landslide despite all the fraud. That's all coming out. This is totally...
Well, I hope that makes him feel better as he sits in his tiny little house because he can't afford anything bigger, because he's lost it all for lying. I hope he feels better.
Insanity. So, I'm going to show you these articles. Come on over here, Reese. Here's some light over here.
By the way, look at his watch. You see what he's wearing right now? He's going to address it in a minute, I believe, but that's a Rolex. That is a Rolex watch.
I'm going to show you these articles. These are the ones you go read. And my folks were at the hearing. They listened to it. I got a transcript of the hearing. Judge Alex Jones Beckford case orders hearing over InfoWars sell to the Onion. No, he said, nope, he's not certifying it. Doesn't look like a real deal to him. The word is bare minimum. He's going to order a real auction. InfoWars will be turned back on sometime next week.
He cannot accept reality.
I will still be the owner under law, like he did the last time they tried to hijack it with another U.S. trustee who we removed. And then this will go forward. And then in January or so, I would guess, 2 months from now, there'll be another auction, and then it can be reality-based. But I go on with my appeals, and it'll be on them. We're sure to win the Texas Supreme Court. Connecticut probably won't, but the Supreme Court there, and we get there. But it doesn't matter. America's awake. The truth's coming out. So I'm going to say it again. The judge blocked the sale today. The judge says he doesn't believe it was a real auction. Now, you notice you're not seeing that in the news. Some of the law sites have it. But you go do your research, all you out there celebrating like idiots. If the judge certifies this, it's just another dark day for people's rights, because you shouldn't say there's an auction. It really isn't an auction.
But you're idiots anyway, right?
Where, you're supposed to have cash. That's the rule.
That's the rule? No, you can get credit. You can get loans from people. What are you talking about? Something tells me he's just fabricating this.
Take less bids. Oh, and by the way, it could just be made up. Their
Like, of course, he's the expert on what's made up.
judgment. Like that's money in the bank. It's like people that buy into Ponzi schemes. I didn't set the Ponzi scheme with $1 billion judgment on me claiming I had all this money. I was negative.
Okay, do you know what a Ponzi scheme is, Alex?
At the time of those trials. Negative money. Never had more than $10 million in the bank. That was backup for the company. I mean, you think my 4-bedroom house, and my Dodge Charger is going to,
Well, I mean, that's not nothing. That's something, right?
I'm not even into fancy stuff. My dad, almost 20 years ago, bought me this Rolex for
A Rolex. I mean, those are expensive watches.
for $4,000 as a birthday present because I bought him a tag. Now it's worth a lot. I didn't know. 20 years ago, I was getting the coolest watch.
Good idea, Alex. When you're right in the middle of a default judgment and your stuff's being taken by the state, fantastic idea to go on air and show all the expensive shit that you have. I'm thinking maybe they should take the Rolex.
Because it wasn't the coolest watch then. Kind of like I didn't know when I lived in Austin and everything had become the coolest place and Joe Rogan would move in down the street. Yeah, it's just...
There's a reason that Joe Rogan moved in down the street from where you live, because you live in an expensive area, because you're in a nice spot, obviously. And you know what? He gets to keep his house. I assume, aside from all of that, in my opinion, they should take pretty much everything and give it to the families. Again, he drove a dude to suicide. He deserves to have everything taken from him and given to the families. He's lucky he's not facing criminal charges.
It's insane. And support us at thealexjostore.com. She takes money to fight these people. Get great products there, T-shirts, great supplements. Make a legal donation at fightforalex.com. But whatever you do, just follow me on X at Real Alex Jones and at the new network site at AJN Live. And just do yourselves a favor and don't believe me. Go read it all for yourself, okay? Now, there's a weird court rule that I have a transcript from the hearing, but the judges don't like it if it isn't an official one to read it yet. But AP is allowed to, and others, you can go read the quotes in here from the judge. But you got to read like 5 articles to find a whole bunch of the stuff. And they try to skew it against me, but they still admit the judge didn't think it was transparent. How could they do this? Doesn't sound like a real auction to him.
What?
No, he's not, certifying the sale. Just like a month ago, they said they own my name. The judge said that violates the 13th Amendment against slavery.
Oh my God, dude. Are you shitting me right now? Donald Trump's name is worth a lot of money. Like, if he puts Trump on a building, that building's value shoots up by like 20%. So I assume what that meant, if it's even true, I don't know if any of this is true. He's just like throwing things out rapid fire. If it were true, it would mean that they get a cut of anything that has Alex Jones's name on it. Like, I understand his parents own the Alex Jones Network, or somebody else does. He says he doesn't own the Alex Jones Network, but his name's on it, so they would get a cut of it anyway. That's the point. And he's saying this violates slavery? What? What are you doing that makes you think that you're a slave like that? He's such a joke.
So they pulled that back, and they admit that in the articles. So these people think I'm so hated that they can set precedent, do whatever they want to everybody on me. Just like Trump always says, they're not trying to get me, they're not trying to get him, they're trying to get through us to get to you.
Oh my God, dude.
So I'll see you at Real Alex Jones on X, and starting at 11 a.m. tomorrow, we'll be back on air. We'll get Harrison and Owen, all them back on next week. We're just dialing stuff in. The studios haven't really been used for live stuff yet. We've got a bigger studio that's almost done there, and a lot of other backups as well. I don't own the Alex Jones Network, so good luck with them trying to shut that down.
Right, that's what he's talking about there, the Alex Jones Network. He doesn't own it, and they're not going to shut that down for 2 reasons. 1, because they failed in getting rights to his name, and 2, because the judge wanted him to be able to continue to make money so that the families can continue to take it.
And there's a lot of other stuff happening, but major lawsuits are getting filed on this. I've already been told.
Totally. Major lawsuits, absolutely.
And so to the folks out there, I know the Justice Department's involved. They tell you they're going to protect you. They're all in a lot of trouble, okay? And so the worms turned. And so you guys don't have a free hand anymore. All right. God bless you all. Thanks for your support. The saga continues on. Free speech is more valuable than ever. So realize that my fight is your fight, and they're trying to shut me down because they want to be able to shut you down.
So stupid.
We have an existential threat to our freedoms, but humanity's waking up. We've turned the tide. We have the initiative. And so understand your very future does hang in the balance, but humanity's waking up. So God bless, and thank you again.
This dude cannot accept reality, no matter what. When his life is on the line, he cannot accept reality. Either that, or he's completely full of shit and he knows he's full of shit. I can't tell with Alex Jones. Ben Shapiro, dude's full of shit and he knows it. Alex Jones, I don't know. Is he really as crazy as he pretends to be?
When I know I leave tonight, they're going to shut us down. Maybe it's tomorrow, the next day. I just want people to know I love you. I believe in you. I believe in humanity. I believe in my grandparents. I believe in my parents. I believe in humanity. I just want to fucking stop these people. They gotta be stopped. We gotta stop them. So, at the end of the day, we're gonna beat these people.
Oh my God, dude. I hate to see anybody like torn apart like this, but you know what? Alex Jones invited people on his show that doxed the families of people who had lost children in this massacre. One of the dads that lost his kid in this school massacre committed suicide last year, the year before, because of him, because of what he did, because of his actions. So you know what? I don't like to see anybody hurt, but he made every piece of this happen all along the way. So my sympathy is below zero. It's in the negatives now. It's gone negative and it's now an enjoyment rather than sympathy.
These people. I'm trying to be dramatic here, but it's been a hard fight.
Really? It's been a hard fight, you say? How about for the people who you doxed or who were doxed on your show? What about them? You think they ever sat around crying like this?
These people hate our children.
Do you think they ever said that? You think they said those words because of your ass? Yeah, I have no sympathy for him.
Hate our children. Just we're all going to do this person because we can't give up now. We have to keep going. We have to stay here. We have to let them shut us down. We have to stand all the way to the end, and we're going to win.
Jones, I think everybody needs a war cry, man. Can you muster a war cry?
It's a big joke.
Yeah, this is stupid.
It's not really, though. I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's also inspiring.
My voice will completely go into this, but it's fine.
What was that? One more time. I'm sorry. Let's amp that up.
Really, though. I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's also inspiring.
My voice will completely go into this, but it's fine.
My voice will completely go, but it's fine. Is that what he said?
It's my resistance to them. It's a God's transmission. It's a human under attack.
All right, let's go to one more speaker. Let's go to Myron.
Okay. Wow, dude. Wow. Yeah, so anyway, that's what happened with Alex Jones. No sympathy for the guy. None. In the second lawsuit, the one not from Houston, but the one from Connecticut, he actually showed up to this one because a default judgment is like worst case scenario, right? And the lawyer here, this guy right here, he's awesome. He's been all over YouTube and everything lately, but basically, Alex Jones claimed he didn't have any texts about a certain subject on his phone. And the court ordered him to turn over certain documents from his phone. And the lawyer, Alex Jones's lawyer, accidentally sent a full copy of the phone, like everything. And they warned him. They said, hey, you sent us a whole phone backup. And he didn't say anything. Like, if he had said that's privilege, they'd have to delete it. He didn't. So this lawyer, it fell free and clear into the lawyer's hands, and they discovered that Alex Jones was, in fact, lying under oath. Listen to this one.
Mr. Jones, you know how an iPhone works, right? You've had an iPhone text messaging for several years now.
Yeah.
What does it mean if the messages are in blue? Whose messages are those?
It means they were sent by the phone that they have here, right?
Whose phone is this taken from?
I don't know whose phone's taken from. I mean, I turned the phone over and said, take
It's Alex's phone.
stuff off.
Can I have you look in the very bottom below the very bottom left corner?
It's Alex's phone, and it proves he lied under oath.
Is that your phone number?
Yes. So you did get my text messages. And it said you didn't. Nice trick.
Yes, Mr. Jones. Indeed. You didn't give this text message to me. You don't know where this came from. Do you know where I got this?
No.
Mr. Jones, Did you know that 12 days ago, your attorneys messed up
Dude, he's playing this up hard.
and sent me an entire digital copy of your entire cell phone with every text message you've sent for the past 2 years, and when informed, did not take any steps to identify it as privileged or protect it in any way. And as of 2 days ago, it fell free and clear into my possession. And that is how I know you lied to me.
Oh my God, dude.
You said you didn't have a text message about saying you. Did you know that?
I told you the truth. This is your Perry Mason moment. I gave them my phone, and then,
Mr. Jones, you need to answer the question.
no, I
Did you know this happened?
no, I didn't know this happened. But I mean, I told
Oh my God.
you, I gave them the phone over. Just so you know.
But just
And you
answer the
said,
question.
in your deposition, you searched your phone. You said you pulled down the text, did the search function for Sandy Hook. That's what you said, Mr. Jones, correct?
Oh, he is in the right now, right?
And I had several different phones with this number, but I did, yeah.
Isn't that violating discovery rules? Yes, he did. He violated the discovery rules. And then Jasperowski says, oh, it could have been privileged, but he was too stupid. Yes, that's correct. Well, his lawyer was too stupid. It could have been, the lawyer could have said, didn't mean to send you that one. That's privileged. Erase it. And legally, they could not have looked at it. They couldn't have used it. It would be fruit from the poison tree, the rest of the phone. Unless they got it some other way, they couldn't have brought it up in court at all. But the lawyer was too stupid, lazy. I don't know what. Did Alex Jones forget to pay his bill to the lawyer? Is that why the lawyer just stopped giving a fuck in that one exact terrible moment? Oh my God, dude. I just love it. I love it. I'm sorry. I'm enjoying this too much.
Well, of course. I mean, that's why you got it.
No, Mr. Jones, that's not what happened.
My lawyer sent it to you, but I'm hiding it. Okay.
Mr. Jones?
Brother, this destroys your defense. Why would you send this to anybody? Shows that he lied. Oh, I love this.
Mr. Jones,
Just answer questions.
Anyway, yeah, just the best, dude. Just the best. All right, so let's listen to this thing about the Onion buying InfoWars now.
Jones. And Thompson is here. What happened in court?
Lester, Alex Jones will have to liquidate his personal assets to help pay that debt. But the federal bankruptcy judge in Houston said the conspiracy promoter could keep his business that runs his InfoWars website, saying that it was one of the most difficult cases he's had. Judge Chris Lopez dismissed the request to liquidate free speech systems. He
Ooh, that's interesting. I didn't realize that.
apologized for making that decision 2 days before Father's Day. It is also the week that the classmates of the 20 child victims graduated from high school. Jones
Wow.
is estimated to have $9 million in personal assets. The company is said to have a cash value of $6 million. The theory behind the decision is that keeping the business going allows it to pay the families. The judge put no limits on what Jones can say.
Oh, okay. So they decided to let him keep Free Speech TV so that the family can continue to get like recurring money from him. Interesting. I think I agree with that decision. The judge could have taken everything from him completely, literally everything. And he could have, put him on the street, could have taken his house, his car, his literally every single thing. But he chose to allow Jones to continue to make money so the families can be made whole. That is an interesting choice. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I think, it's a decision. If it was made in good faith, like the judge was not in Alex Jones's pocket or something, I can appreciate it. Let's just kind of glance through the article here. The Onion, the satirical news company that repeatedly spoofed conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, has won the bankruptcy auction for control over his media empire, most notably InfoWars, the far-right conspiracy-minded website that served as Jones' primary online platform. I'm actually surprised to hear it was only worth like $6 million. Although that's just InfoWars. That doesn't count Free Speech TV, I guess, and all the other assets. I thought for sure it'd be worth like $100 million, at least, based on how big it is. But yeah, it was a closed auction, so nobody knew who was bidding, unless they told the public. The Onion announced they were bidding for it. Roger Stone said he was bidding on it, and some others, but I guess the Onion came out the other side. Jones announced the sale on X on Thursday morning. I just got word 15 minutes ago my lawyers and folks met with the U.S. trustee over our bankruptcy this morning, and they said they're shutting us down even without a court order this morning. Oh my God, dude. He's such a victim. Come on. I don't know what's going to happen. You know what? He caused the suicide of one of these parents. He's lucky it's not criminal charges. And in my opinion, maybe it should be criminal. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to be here until they come and turn the lights off, he added. Wow. The Onion plans to shutter Jones Infowars and rebuild the website featuring well-known internet humor writers and content creators, according to a person with knowledge of the sale. About an hour and a half after the announcement of the sale, Infowars' website was shut down. Wow, that was fast. Attorneys for First United American Companies, which was named as a backup bidder in the auction, filed a request Thursday seeking an immediate court-ordered meeting about the Onion's win, claiming there were changing procedures, lack of transparency, and inaccurate disclosure to interested bidders. Oh, please. The group said there was urgency because the value of the asset is in the process of being destroyed at this very minute. Jones, 50. Is he really 50 years old? One of the most high-profile and financially successful alternative media personalities, built a small empire off a radio show turned internet video operation centered around the Infowars brand that focused on false and often bizarre claims about grand conspiracies and government wrongdoing. I believe Jones got really famous off of the Waco, Texas stuff. I was just reading a book about the Branch Davidians. David Koresh is his name. God, could not remember it for the life of me. I was reading a book about David Koresh, his biography, basically, and he had schizophrenia. He was schizophrenic. He took control of this little radical group of Seventh-day Adventists, a branch off of that group, and renamed himself David Koresh. He started stockpiling weapons and preparing for a civil war, effectively, is what it looked like. They armed children and everything. They were sitting there negotiating, trying to come to a peaceful resolution, and it just was not happening. So they gave the order to go in and take the guns by force, and a bunch of people died in the Waco siege. A lot of people blame the government. I don't, really. They say it was government overreach. I don't think so. I think it's on the Branch Davidians. I think it's on David Koresh, personally, also known as Vernon Howell. That was his real name. Here, let's see if this is it.
You have to haul all of your water. It's just a very bad scenario at this point.
Winds fanned the flames and reduced the entire property to ash.
The area is called Mount Carmel, and they all lived up there together.
Within an hour, around 80 Branch Davidians died, including David Koresh and 25 children.
The children were armed. They had guns.
While most died from fire and smoke inhalation, 2 members were found with fatal bullet wounds to the head. 4 federal agents were also killed during that siege. Several months later, a federal grand jury indicted 12 of the surviving Branch Davidians for unlawful possession of firearms and aiding the murder of federal officers. Many believe the government's actions were overly aggressive and maybe even illegal.
Yeah, that was Alex Jones primarily. He got a lot of press coverage from that.
Right-wing extremist groups and patriot militias, Waco was further evidence of a government willing to use its power against its own people.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can't just, illegally stockpile guns. Are you kidding me with this?
One of these extremists was a 24-year-old disgruntled Army veteran named Timothy McVeigh. Radicalized by Waco, McVeigh would retaliate for what he saw as the injustices of the Waco siege by bombing a federal building in Oklahoma City, exactly 2 years to the day of the siege at Mount Carmel.
And one day before Hitler's birthday. I didn't realize that. April 20th was Hitler's birthday. 1889. Exactly 100 years before me. Anyway, yeah, I've been reading about Hitler and religion and everything. Was Hitler an atheist, if you're curious? Amazon and Audible. Anyway, yeah, the Oklahoma City bombing was the result of unhappiness around the Waco, Texas thing. Fascinating how everything kind of connects, right? It all connects together. Anyways, it says here, details of Wednesday's auction, including how much was offered for Free Speech Systems, the parent company of InfoWars, and related assets, were not immediately known. Funds generated from the sale are meant to satisfy Jones' estate creditors, largely families of victims from the 2012 Sandy Hook Elementary School attack, to whom he must pay damages and defamation verdicts. Sandy Hook families filed lawsuits in Connecticut and Texas claiming Jones defamed them on his show and inflicted emotional distress by repeatedly suggesting the shooting, in which a gunman killed 20 first-grade children and 6 adults, was a hoax. That is insane. That is absolutely nuts. That is a crazy thing for him to have not just said, but like quadrupled down on. Invited people on to talk about it and dox the families and everything. Like, oh my God, dude, what is wrong with you that you do something like that? Like, are you broken inside? What is going on? Anyway, that's the story. I guess The Onion grabbed it. In fitting form for the satirical website, The Onion's news release announcing the sale was written in the voice of a CEO of Global Tetrahedron, a fictional evil company created by Onion staff. Former tech executive Jeff Lawson took the name Global Tetrahedron for his real company that acquired The Onion from Geo Media in April. I love that. That's really funny. Through it all, InfoWars has shown an unswerving commitment to manufacturing anger and radicalizing the most vulnerable members of society. Values that resonate deeply with all of us at Global Tetrahedron, the release said. That's funny. The families in Texas and Connecticut have sparred in court over the liquidation process, with concerns over how the money will be distributed. Still, they've said Jones' loss of his company brings some accountability for his past words. At his trial in Texas in 2022, Jones generally blamed corporate media for twisting his words and misportraying him, but didn't specify how. While Jones also testified that he believes Sandy Hook was 100% real, he's used the ongoing litigation to galvanize his listeners as he faces the loss of InfoWars. Yep. Anyway, absolutely fascinating. I don't want to see anybody suffer, ever. Nobody. But I have negative sympathy now for him. Not to mention the fact that he has consistently platformed monsters, like Nick Fuentes, for example. Full-blown, self-avowed Nazi. Like, calls himself a Nazi. Believes in the white race, loves Hitler, the whole 9 yards. So I'm sorry, man. Like, I cannot get on board with any kind of movement to help him or to make him feel better or whatever. I just can't. Tell me what you think in the comments.